Um. Okay, so everyone else is taking care of Ethereal?
I don't know about everyone, but other people are on
Well,
it.
well, well, if Mythos is actually going to try and make his way to Annabelle's shop.
Yeah, I'm gonna have
Someone should go
So,
Celestia
with.
do the same, so
for,
you're welcome.
so
I'm gonna go
let's
with.
see how he's gonna walk without the crutches at first.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
think
need
he's gonna make it.
I'm gonna need a dex roll.
I'm going to have Celestia walk with Mythos so he can if needed.
So
That
Lucia,
is a-
should he roll low enough, I'm gonna need you to roll to try to catch him before he face plants.
that's a
Okay.
10 total.
Yeah, no, you face plant. Celosia, do you catch him? I need a roll.
Dex
Probably
roll?
a strength. Dex or strength, whichever one you want.
He's still
Well,
gonna
it's
try to
either a
catch
+4
himself.
or a
though.
-1. Here comes my natural one of the set.
Hey, you managed to catch Mythos before he completely obliterates his face hole.
It's a good thing not to obliterate.
And his hair would protect him.
And whenever Celosia catches him, he tries to balance up on the crutches and turns to Celosia. Thank you.
That really knocked you for a loop, didn't it?
You don't need to sign a waiver for no reason.
Do you need to hold on to me?
I got these. Miss Trinity handed them to me, and he motions to the crutches. Don't worry, I can get out of this. I can get out of this tavern without issue. And he's going to look towards the exit of the tavern. And Celestia's just gonna see Mythos teleport.
You cut out.
Celestia's gonna see Mythos teleport. He can teleport, by the way.
Oh no.
Do you stick the landing though?
You're gonna get your license revoked for that. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you can't.
Don't teleport and drink. Drink and
You
teleport.
can
So
hide the keys all you want, but
Need a roll from me.
Yeah, why don't we go with another dex save or an acrobatics?
What's the DC for this? I wonder.
You are quite inebriated.
Not that I should be adding to this, but I feel like targeting would be an issue.
I got a 20
Yes.
total. I got a 20 total. I rolled a 19, so I got a 20 total.
Okay. How do I do this? You make it outside, but you teleport smack dab into a passing caravan or passing cart.
Oh no.
Well, he was just trying to aim for just to be on one side of the door.
The cart was passing pretty close. You almost just about faceplant teleported into the side of it.
I love frag the carriage.
Yeah.
It was a possibility.
He's going to kind of shout, "My apologies."
I'll let you wibble wobble your way without any further rolls from here on.
Yeah.
I still feel like someone should go with him.
But yes, all
No,
of
he's
you,
fine,
I'm
he's fine.
assuming,
He's not
start heading to
driving.
Well,
start heading to Annabelle's.
Celosia is accompanying him, so.
Oh, okay, we're good then. Yeah, I'm gonna load Ethereal on top of the luggage and then make my way over there.
Okay. Trinity waves goodbye, takes the alcohol, drinks the rest of what Mythos and Ethereal didn't drink, and stumbles off.
Waste not, want not.
That is, as they say, the good stuff.
Vex, before you leave, you see Trinity walk straight into a wall several times. Apparently, she can't even control the drink.
I mean, that's her business, so I don't know.
She invented something that she herself was powerless to overcome.
There you go.
Not even the bard can tame this drink. Anyway, Annabelle, you have visitors. The little doorbell rings a few times as Mythos stumbles his way in. Celosia at hoof, and then Vex with his luggage of ethereal himself.
Should I describe the shop?
Yes, please.
Alright. I mean, it's a fairly small shop. You know, if you've ever been in a city and you see little small stores, it's kind of like one of those little numbers. But all around, you see, at least shut off to the side, are mummified hands, legs, toes, fingers, heads. Some things are in jars. There's piles of dust here and there. Essentially, anything you can think of related to corpses and or death, you can find it for sale here.
This song is playing in the background.
And the front main shop area has been converted to a communal living space with a few. I mean, she's not exactly
You
sitting on a mattress.
So you roboted so hard I could not understand a word.
What was the last thing you heard from me?
Mythos, what's the last thing that you heard?
All I heard was like something about like heads, I think.
So basically,
Well, Mythos is drunk, so you know.
I suppose that's fair. Essentially mummified various body parts here and there: toes, fingers, hands, eyes, heads, grave dust. You know, mini coffins that are both novel and serviceable, so on and so forth, just scattered about, pushed off to the side. And the main area, the main shopping area, has been retrofitted. She's actually laid out a few coffins that she's padded because she doesn't really have anything else to offer for sleeping accommodations.
I'm pretty sure ethereal and Mythos will fit right in.
But
Oh, how appropriate, yes.
Alexa, play the Goosebumps theme.
and she'll actually help Mythos into one of the coffins as she looks up at Celosia. I'm sorry that I don't have proper accommodations. It's just, I don't often have large numbers of people staying at my home.
I can imagine why. You, like you said before, it seems when you
More time?
isolated lifestyle.
She sort of
You're cutting out a lot.
I caught
I think I got what she said. Though.
living an
Saying that
isolated
you live an
lifestyle.
isolated lifestyle.
Her glance just sort of casts down a bit. She stands up, brushes herself off a little. It is a shame that she felt the need to remove my inebriation. I was hoping to forget that entire encounter.
But consider, if you'd done that, you might allow it to happen again.
Oh, hello, Vex.
Hmm.
I was uncertain.
Roll initiative.
What?
I rolled really good. 19 total.
I assumed we were close enough that like we were all on the scene, but
Sorry.
I was wrong.
No, she looks up.
I find it hard to believe that drunk ethereal would outpace us, or no, drunk Mythos. That's it. Drunk ethereal is really not going to outpace us.
Are you sure?
Vex.
Drunk Ethereal will disagree.
I mean, I'm currently effectively carrying you right now, so yes, I am sure.
At this point, ethereal, you are imagining that you are floating through assumedly space because everything looks like bright stars.
Whee. Vex, are you opposed to sharing my room with me?
I suppose not.
Things for a second. I'm unaware of what what you would find comfortable for sleeping.
TP Annabelle Vex.
I'm sure I can make do with whatever's available.
Hmm. And
Mimics
she sort
I
of,
knew
Mimics aren't
Annabelle would try
exactly
to go
known
with
for
the
their
box.
mimics aren't exactly known for their bedrooms.
no, that's why I was uncertain of what sort of accommodations would best fit you.
Honestly, I was just planning to hide amongst the merchandise.
Well, she glances over and grabs a mummified head. I could use another one of these on the shelves, although I'm not going to be aiding any customers anytime soon.
I'm sure you have some kind of storage, yes?
It's in the back. That's where I've kept most of these coffins that you see on display.
And that's how Vex sleeps in the broom closet.
And in that case, she looks over at Ethereal. Celosia, would you?
I'm just gonna push Ethereal into one of the coffins.
Oh, no.
This seems appropriate.
Oh.
For some reason, this coffin's exactly ethereal shape. Annabelle works fast.
Well, I mean, she's not level 6 for nothing. She, glasses. In that case, Celosia,
Yes?
you are, at present, the only other, lady who is capable of holding conversation. Would you be opposed to sharing my room?
She's gonna look around with the rest of the company. Then, not at all. I'd love to.
Very well. I have curtained off my own bed so that I may sleep in privacy, but I suppose there's a space up there. There's a coffin I can offer you. It's one that I sleep in from time to time.
Oh,
What?
see, I'm making a homebrew class coffin maker and switching you to 6 levels of that.
She shrugs. What? They're comfortable if they're prepared properly.
Comfortable, but we exactly do well in enclosed spaces. Is there any way I could
Discord ate what you just said, at least on my end.
Flying creature doesn't do well with enclosed spaces. Is there any way I could sleep with?
Oh, well, I mean, you could. I suppose I could try and provide some padding for you to sleep on the floor.
This building has rafters.
That would be
I-
preferable.
I also have some rafters.
If we get enough rope, a makeshift bed up there. All right.
Yes, I have something that resembles rope.
It's human hair, isn't it?
No, it's just funeral wrappings.
If it works, it works.
Well, funeral wrappings that are stronger than you would expect.
Now they're used.
You see, sometimes the dead don't want to stay still, and you need funeral wrapping to help make sure that they do.
Secure them in. I don't know.
This was not at all what Celosia thought funeral wrap.
It's like, okay, I know exactly what you meant, but you still sound like a murderer.
She will retrieve the wrappings and offer them to Celosia.
Is it really murder if they're already dead, though?
Well, since 3 of us are presently sober, much to my chagrin,
Mm-hmm.
what do you two propose we do? Should we
Well-
just...
Well, I wouldn't necessarily call myself drunk. I'm still cognitive. Thank you very much.
Are you comfortable?
How's the... I know she placed Mythos in the coffin. Like, what's this coffin like? Is it, like, actually fully prepared, or...
It's probably a coffin roughly Mythos size with various padding tossed in, like some pillows and maybe some blankets, linens, or something like that. It's probably just a wooden coffin, so not exceptionally comfortable, I imagine.
He's going to say, well, I will admit I have never spent time in a coffin before.
Oh, you'll get plenty of time someday.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh no, I didn't mean anything about that. I was
I'm
just.
gonna call that debatable.
Oh no, I didn't mean anything about that. It's just she shrugs. Death comes to us all. Well,
And
almost all of us.
He's going to laugh and say, luckily I still know what you meant. It's no offense taken. It was just didn't expect that.
You don't coffin quite as well as I expected. I wonder if you'd be more of a cremation type of person.
Boy.
Hmm.
Well, all of my most of my family who was given the proper rites were cremated.
Hmm.
Would you like to sleep in the cremated instead?
No.
Sorry,
We
Just
just
that-
established he's not that drunk.
one of the things that people don't often think about with funerals is how the deceased are dressed and look. Many people, and having the proper coffin to complement them is an important part of it. If you have a coffin that's too big for them or too small, it can distort their last memories of their loved ones. Or if they look quite strange in a coffin, that can actually leave loved ones feeling rather unnerved about it. So sometimes cremation is more comforting. Remember, I do this for a living, darling.
So, I will admit, quite a few of these curiosities and oddities, well, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't, well, curious about them.
Well, if you want to purchase them, I certainly won't stop you. But we digress. And she then turns back to Celosia and Vex. Again, seeing as how the three of us are the most lucid of the lot, what do you think we should do? Should we just sit and twiddle our thumbs, or... The day is still relatively young, is it not?
The time is just afternoon. You spent about 2 hours in Trinity's thing, waiting for it to be done, then getting stuff, eating, drinking.
It's still daylight. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
It's...
Well, if we could make plans of some sort, that would be ideal. I'm not sure what we really have to plan around, though. My understanding is our last instructions were to head for the gate and move through.
Trinity did tell the table that someone would be meeting you guys at Animal's place, just not when.
Hmm.
I suppose we do wait, especially since, well, I am currently not able to perform to the best of my ability, and glances over to Ethereal. She is dead to the world.
Oh, thank you, I almost forgot. She grabs the lid to the coffin and puts it over Ethereal.
Ah!
Oh no!
Ethereal, you now imagine yourself to be floating in a void.
Vex is going to stare at that for a
We're
moment.
we're
and
calling. I'm gonna call it the Broxnar syndrome.
Vex is going to stare at that for a moment before moving over and just nudging the lid open slightly,
Please remove the lid.
so that a little bit of light can get through.
Well,
I've done this before.
She starts laughing. She starts laughing, and she removes the lid.
What?
Honestly,
I'm going to
With
give her a
how-
very serious look.
What happened to
with
the
how you-
void?
with what you did just now,
You're free now.
I would assume you were still inebriated, Annabelle.
No, I wish I was. Sorry, it's
Your fault you didn't buy more drinks. Buy more drinks.
I'm not-
Sorry, my sense of humor, I suppose, is a little difficult for some to swallow. Well, that said, I suppose we're supposedly someone's coming to meet us, and perhaps perhaps now would be a fine time to better assess ourselves. We've been traveling for a little while now. And perhaps it wouldn't hurt to
That is true. It would be nice just to rest and get to know each other for a while.
I see. I suppose that's reasonable, yes.
After all, I don't believe we've ever actually properly formally introduced ourselves to each other. Our companionship had become, if I remember correctly, quite sudden and unexpected.
True, considering we were sent on an assignment that ended up leading to, I guess the best way to describe it would be a social experiment.
Yes, I suppose that would be accurate.
We've certainly been caught up in quite the strange turn of events, haven't we?
Yes.
Well, if I may be so bold, she stands up and gives a polite little bow. To formally introduce myself, my name is Annabelle Farnsworth. I am the owner and curator of my shop here, where I sell various morbid curiosities. It's a very specialized audience, you see, and the real way I keep my shop afloat, if I had to be honest, is by offering clerical services, funeral rites and healing and whatnot. And, well, I am no stranger to putting myself into harm's way. Some of these, many of these curos, you see, are not safe to acquire.
Discord crashed.
Kaboom.
All I heard was,
Meguming?
I sell curiosities, and then that was it.
Some of these curiosities, not all these curiosities are safe to attain, and, well, to acquire some of them, you have to go into some rather dangerous places. So I've often hired individuals to assist me in retrieving rare and exotic things and bringing them back to the shop either for my own personal collection or to sell them. I have a small number of dedicated customers and the occasional curious passerby. But, she glances up. But it is my home. And I suppose if I were to talk a little bit about where I came from, I was raised by... Well, I was raised properly, you see. I'm a child of good and proper breeding. Unfortunately, my situation dissolved quite rapidly, and I was then taken in by a local church and raised, where I concluded my childhood there and became an adult. And that is where I learned my arts and my dedications. And she kind of glances uncomfortably over her shoulder.
And
I believe...
Mythos is going to, like, whenever he sees Annabelle glance uncomfortably over her shoulder, Mythos is going to say, if you don't want to talk about her, you don't have to.
Annabelle is visibly distressed when you say that. I don't think there's much left to say at the moment. My mother was a woman of scientific understanding and education. I never knew my father. My early years were in privilege and then humility afterwards. And one day I found this coffin. Kind of just like that, actually. I had found some unceremonious graves, and I decided to relocate the remains. And not too far from it was a coffin. It was the strangest thing. I've lifted many coffins, and I'm not exactly a strong woman, and coffins are always terribly heavy, but this one was so strangely light. I don't know if there's much more I can say about it right now. And I suppose I've alluded to it enough. One of my clerical service, or often my clerical services, are contracted out to those who are involved in the war effort. I have seen and cured and laid to rest many soldiers. I have seen eyes go from life to empty more times than I care to think about.
Right in the middle of your speech, a loud knocking is heard at your front door.
She jumps. Oh dear, I'm so terribly sorry. I didn't mean to. Apologies again. She runs over and opens the door.
All of you see a familiar figure, a very burly familiar figure,
I know
wearing
it.
a different
I
wearing
know
a different
it.
outfit than he was before.
Annabelle is horrified that this person is coming into her shop.
Vex just kind of goes, "You again."
Got a nice shop here.
Please don't break anything.
Oh, I wouldn't break nothing. I couldn't hurt a fly, unless I tried, in which case I could.
Yes.
But it would appear that I have been nominated to be your contact to all things Mr. Rodley related. To which end I have brought you your next assignment.
Mm.
And whom exactly are we receiving these assignments from?
Your employers, the traitors to the war effort, you could say. The background, the people that sent you on the first assignment anyway.
Hmm. And what is the assignment?
Well, we have spotted Mr. Rodley doing something with the undead down outside of the city borders. The Shroud has been keeping an eye on him. Sorry for not telling you about the Shroud earlier.
Annabelle's
They
face.
requested that they meet you before we tell them about you. Something like that.
Upon mentioning the undead, Annabelle's expression grows extremely dark.
And so now this Rodley is desecrating the honored dead?
More like he is come into contact with the Lich who is doing that.
It makes him just as guilty.
Is he still there personally, or has he moved on?
We lost sight of him a few hours ago.
Because I believe you know what happened last time we tried to confront him directly.
We lost sight, and it'll take you about a month to get there with how far outside the borders this is.
Mm.
So our assignment is to go and see what
You
he's...
need to assess the situation, what he has done, and what kind of deal he struck with the Lich, if in fact that's what he was there for.
You said outside the borders.
This is in-plant territory, yes.
Something we'd best prepare for then.
To that end, preparing, I have been granted the authority to give you this. Each of you receives a bag of gold that has a lot of gold in it.
Oh boy.
He hands it to you quite easily, but as soon as you grab it, it falls to the ground and pulls you along with it.
I mean, I got a strength of 9,
I
so
think I'm already at 4, right?
she's gonna just signal for him to just place it on the floor next to her.
Likewise.
You've all been.
Roll a
You've all
dex
been.
on the way up the flying money.
You have all been given, temporarily at least, 10,000 gold pieces to carry out any further missions this group gives you.
Oh dang.
This is the only funding. This money does not come easily. They will call it a loan, payment, something like that.
And investment.
We got a
There you go,
check.
investment. Yes.
No, we
And
just got a stimulus check.
This should cover any and all costs related to journey, magical items, or anything else you wish to acquire or need.
Oh,
It is appreciated.
no small sum.
For obvious reasons, I am the only person that can contact you here and from now on. The group you are working with of traders cannot be discovered by the government.
Does this mean I make my personal reports through you then?
You are a different story. The king wishes you to contact him still directly.
Understood.
We agreed to this because he's his own thing.
Element. Yes.
Yeah, he's a special dude.
Yes.
Speaking of that, the king requested that you, what was it that he requested? Oh yeah, he thanks you for bringing him news about his son. And he also requested if you run into his son again, you send him his way.
Yes, I'll...
His son has quite the knack for getting into trouble.
I would be happy to pass the message along, but I'm not sure it's my place to force the issue.
Thank you. Or the king says thank you. I think. Probably. That's probably what he'll say.
I'm sure it's a reasonable assumption.
Any questions from all of you?
I presume then, we are anticipated to head out as soon as we are ready.
Actually, you'll be leaving under guise of Trinity's. You'll be hidden within Trinity's cargo to get out of the city and out of the lands.
Right, because at this point we are actively counter-agents to the government, correct?
Yes, and
Well, some
the
elements of
Shroud don't exactly work for the government. The Shroud are weird. They play all sides. But needless to say, it'd be better if they didn't see you leaving. The
Noted.
Shroud
Would
both
we ever-
work for us and for them at the same time. They have their own agendas. So, we're taking every precaution necessary to not have you seen leaving the city.
Well then. I suppose I need to brush up on my dance steps.
I'm not sure I understand what you mean, but, good luck, I guess.
You would... I suppose you would have had to have been there to get the joke.
Speaking of contact, a certain inventor gave me a thing, like, that allows us to do like the contacting stuff. He hands you what you as a player know as a walkie-talkie, but in character don't know what the hell this is. Apparently you can like throw your voice at people from like a long distance away with this.
I'm writing it down as a communication device.
To whom am I giving this one to? There was only two, one for me and one for your entire group.
Would anyone
He
mind
holds it
firing
out,
it?
expecting one of you to take it.
Mythos is still sitting in the coffin and say, if no one else will take it, I will.
I was gonna say the same thing.
He notes your shaking legs, Mythos. Even though you're sitting, your legs are still wobbling. Oh, you had her drink, did you?
Yes. Needless to say, I will not.
You
be
don't
drinking it
understand language anymore, Ethereal.
Oh no.
again. Take her in the mortal. No, Etheria, you're taking the hobbits to Isengard.
See, now we definitely can't kill Ethereal the Ring because he'll just throw it in lava first chance.
The first time I had that drink, it killed me. Literally.
You don't say.
I think the less we know about that one, the better.
Annabelle narrows her eyes, but says nothing.
I was revived. I am fully alive now. It was a true resurrection spell. I'm not undead.
No, I fully believe you could walk off death.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wouldn't kill me. I wouldn't die even if they killed me.
Pretty much.
Out of character, I think that's all of Rox's characters.
No, this one in particular.
Shall we test it? Because I was told to press a button, and then you had to press a button once you heard, like, some sort of noise, and then we'd be able to talk.
Okay.
Wait, who did
He
you hand it to?
holds it, holds it out to whoever grabs it.
Me.
Vex grabs it. Mythos, you'd have to actually get up and walk to grab it, which might be a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, Vex, you
Understandable.
grab it. He presses a button and motions for you to do the same.
Okay, I push the button.
You push the button and you hear horrendous static you don't know what static is, but you hear horrendous
There's a
noise.
screeching noise. I release
Is
the
it a
button.
feedback loop?
Ooh.
I release the button very quickly.
I was told something like this would happen if they're too close. He takes a single step back and tries again.
I'm gonna take many steps back before I try pushing the button again.
The static is still there, but it's a lot less. And he speaks through it quite loudly because he doesn't know how it works. And you get yelling straight into your ear hole, wherever that may be.
I feel the vibrations.
But you hear him quite loudly in the store and through the thing. The thing
Yeah,
seems to amplify his voice even more.
Yes, it seems to be working now.
Congratulations, you have tinnitus. Or tinnitus. Not tinnitus. Oh my god!
Tinnitus.
Overwatch taught me it's tinnitus, but
It's tinnitus.
Is it tinnitus? Okay,
Yeah,
I got
it
it
is.
right.
that's
Yeah,
what
You did
Overwatch
get it
taught.
right.
That's what Overwatch taught me.
Okay. English is weird. Medical terms are weirder.
So do we both have to be pushing a button for this to work?
Yes, you both have to be pushing a button. He pushed a button and you heard a little... It vibrated and made a beeping sound until you pushed the button, in which case you heard him speak.
Oh, okay.
So, I suppose it works.
Yes, it seems to. Well, we've confirmed that at least, which is good.
He
Nice.
holds out his fingers. I gave you the money, I gave you the device, I told you your mission. Was there anything else I didn't do? He started mumbling to himself. He stares blankly at the wall, not remembering what else he was supposed to say. He seems to stand frozen, almost as if he was frozen in time, but he is very much not.
I mean, we don't know that.
I
Are
mean,
you-
I guess.
He might be able to like remove himself from the time stream. We couldn't tell.
Are you alright?
What? Oh, hi.
Hello?
Yeah, I told you, I gave you your money, I told you...
You were wondering if there was a fourth thing that you were supposed to do to or for us.
He starts banging his head to figure it out. You feel the shockwaves.
I thought you said you weren't going to break anything.
I won't break me doing this.
I'm referring to the wall.
I'm referring to the jars and the very fragile.
Sir, can you please not do that?
Oh yeah, Beathos probably has a hell of a headache.
Please do not do
say
that.
nothing. To say
I'm
nothing of
begging you.
ethereal.
I'm begging you, do not do that.
You're basically banging their heads too.
Well,
He
if
bangs his head a lot softer and almost in slow motion now to make sure he's not hurting anything. So now he's just slow motioning in real time, head banging to try to remember.
That, I suppose, that is a solution. Yes.
Well, I suppose I could tell you through this voice throwing thingamajogger thing, if I remember it.
that seems a logical thing to do, yes.
I guess I'll take my leave. Trinity's caravan leaves in a week. You're to meet her a day before she leaves to arrange your transformation into cargo.
Transformation into
That's
cargo.
an unusual way of putting that, I suppose, for anyone but me.
Are you used to being
the
cargo?
guards are quite thorough, so you need to quite literally become cargo.
Well, thank you for.
If I had fingers, I'd be doing finger guns right now.
Well, thank you for the everything you have offered us. If there's nothing else, then
Annabelle's saying it nicely, but what she means is leave now.
yeah, she just. I'm trying to figure out the best way to end that.
I physically
well,
can't. I physically can't force you to leave, but please get out.
He leaves while still banging his head in slow motion, trying to figure out what he forgot.
Just walking down the street like that.
Yeah.
I do have a question though.
Yes.
So I function as storage.
Yes.
Would I be unable to tell if the thing was like activated while I was storing it?
No, you'll be able to tell.
Okay, in that case, I'm putting the device in my mouth.
Because it vibrates too,
Um,
you'll feel it.
Okay.
it'd be like having a pager.
Howling man
Mythos
eating
is like
box.
cl-
Howling
Mythos
man
is
eating
clutching
box.
Exactly.
Mythos is clutching his head. Is he finally gone?
Yes.
It feels like someone stabbed a knife into my head.
Here, let me alleviate that somewhat.
Well, that was, I'm led to believe, the good stuff.
Needless to say, I am not drinking that again.
You know what? Thank you, Derp. It is now named the Good Stuff TM.
I'm here to help.
Trademarked. Annabelle will go ahead and cast. If she has anything good for this.
Anything to remove poison.
Let's see what she's got prepared.
Remove poison.
No, unfortunately, she doesn't have anything. She doesn't have anything purification prepared, just healing stuff.
And I
Which-
think that's Galarian's internet.
Oh. Rip. And they
Mythos
did mention that it
Mythos
was
finally
pretty
passes
low.
out. Oh,
Did your internet go out?
What?
Did your internet go out due to the storm or something?
Yeah, for a quick moment.
Okay,
Like it was a flicker.
Brox,
Yes.
can I make a tool check?
I have a suspicion of what you're doing, but sure.
Okay, 'cause I am proficient in alchemist supplies.
Boy.
Can I make a medicine check?
Yes, but I
Using-
will warn you that if you get a low roll, you're going to make it worse.
Well, I will have guidance prepared because this is a situation where it makes perfect sense to have guidance.
I'm hoping for that one now. Create an alchemical creation for Mythos to take, and it literally just knocks him out. They're fixed.
I mean, he's not feeling it. He's not feeling pain anymore, so you know.
Well, that's not a great roll, but guidance might have made a fair difference. All right. So that is a 16 total.
16 total, and I assume you were trying to make a concoction to get Mythos up and going.
Actually, it's more just to reduce the pounding headache. She's not attempting to remove.
She's trying to make a
effect.
Tylenol.
You know
Basically,
what? I'm going to say that you managed to make wake up juice from Back to the Future.
Oh boy.
unfortunately, I don't remember the wake up juice from Back to the Future.
Coffee grounds, gunpowder, Tabasco sauce, some other things, and a lot of alcohol to bring you out from your stupor.
Well, I'm guessing that doesn't help alleviate the headache.
This sounds like
No, it
mad.
does.
This sounds like mad science.
It works well enough, the headache's reduced, but I hope you don't puke it out. That does not taste great. Mythos, that might be the most vile thing you've ever drunk in your life.
Would I have to make a Constitution save on
I'm
that?
pretty sure you would.
Oh no.
If medicine tasted good,
I got
then
an 18 total.
You get it down, but it was not pleasant.
medicine must taste bad. Otherwise, we would be tempted to take it when we don't eat it.
That is true.
That makes sense. Also makes it more effective in getting someone back on their feet, I assume.
Yes. And she, after administering, she gets up. It's also up to the horror to take down, and nobody likes it, myself included.
Mythos is gonna try to get back on his feet.
Your feet are less wobbly, but now you just feel sick.
No, you should probably just rest.
But there's a quick bit look at the wake up juice from Back to the Future.
Oh no.
I'm
Oh,
certain
yeah, I
that,
remember that.
oh dear.
Well, since we have a week, I suppose.
Oh right, there was jalapenos and mustard in there too, spicy mustard.
And he was like, well, since we have a week, I suppose we can, for starters, continue our conversation from where we left off, before the crazy man came in.
Do you think we could end it here, by the way, and
Yeah,
continue
that's
that
just a hook.
conversation after?
Hook to next session.
Okay.
By the way,
With that, cut session, Ethereal.
oh, and